What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Let me explain the thumbnail. It's a show called Rock in the 90s. Rock was a garbage man. Charles S. Dutton. This was a particular classic scene where he had a meeting about a drug dealer that moved in, played by Clifton Powell, who's always played bad guys in movies, right? So he comes to Rock's house after the meeting and tries to pay Rock off to not get him, the drug dealer, put out the community. And there comes a point where they're just talking man to man in the house. And as his wife and father and brother come downstairs, he says, be careful, garbage man, for you find one of your family members in one of them cans. And that's where you see Rock choking him in the thumbnail. And he was like, I'll break your back. Now, if anybody knows anything about Charles S. Dutton, he was actually incarcerated before he was an actor. So this was like a powerful scene knowing his history. This is what we don't want to talk about. Yeah. See, this blue collar guys like Rock, y'all want to talk about the Cosby Show all the time, but you don't want to talk about Rock. You want to talk about the Parenthood. You know what I'm saying? Even in the house. Even the Jamie Foxx show. You don't want to talk about the era, that they pasted in the late 80s, early mid 90s, where you had the blue collar guy who was taking care of the family and taking care of family members on their blue collar salary, job, hourly wage. But at the same time, there was a quote-unquote war brewing with the street dudes who, for some odd reason, the community would rally around and protect because they said they were making money. Now, you see this play out, if anybody has been a fan of the show The Wire. You remember when they got to Marlo, and Marlo was stealing candy from the store, and the security guard rolled up on him like, hey, man, come on, man. And then Marlo decided to be the bitch ass that he was and put a hit out on a security guard that caught him stealing candy. That's how that's what it evolved to over time, where the street dude really didn't want no real drama. They just wanted to get rid of these blue collar dudes because some of you newfound gangsters in society don't know this. They didn't want that fade. They didn't. And now to this day, they still don't. This is why some of the rules of the street and engagement got unnecessary, because people would, going outside of the boundaries of the streets and trying to go into the homes. And then what you see over time is, at the end of the day, families fracture. Not just broken homes as in divorces and stuff like that. You've seen families, as far as immediate and extended families, fracture, because now what you're dealing with is you got the blue collar dudes, like, since y'all gonna have to pick a side. You either gonna pick these blue collar hardworking men or you're gonna pick these street dudes. And a lot of families, split. They, let's just say they split down the middle, 50-50. So on the back end, guess who you wanted to help raise these kids? Guess who was helping the community? The blue collar dudes. See, some of them moved, some of them stayed. But all of them were somehow tasked with the responsibility of cleaning up the fallout for all the people who chose the street dudes. The street dudes, see, when they got out, and they had to learn the trade and the skill, guess who they had to go back to? The blue collar dudes. When they were in, guess what family members they had to depend on to help their kids? The blue collar dudes. Whether it's directly or indirectly. So there's no respect there. You get what I'm saying? So for all of you guys who don't take into consideration, guess who's not trying to hear it when they go out into the streets about, man, you know, I'm just hard. I'm just trying to grind and get money. The blue collar dudes ain't trying to hear that, because for all the grinding and getting money, why is the garbage man paying for this? Why is the mailman paying for this? Why is the foreman paying for this? Why they won't ask? Why is the guy that does roofing, you know, why is the plumber paying for this? Nobody knows, right? So, and then, you know, as far as a relationship dynamic, the street dudes seem to be so cute. Well, how come when it all falls down, you try to go back to the blue collar dude? Because somehow his hardworking lifestyle is a whole lot more peaceful and organized and less stressful. Just plug and play. Bam, I put you right there. All that chaotic stuff gets old. You know, you come from a good family. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you came from a good family. You chose them streets. Go ahead. So now the war was between the blue collar and the street dudes. And like I said, they didn't want that fade. They didn't. That's why to get back at some of these quote unquote blue collar dudes, you know what some of the petty street dudes did? Targeted the blue collar dudes' kids, whether they were actual targets for the streets or they tried to manipulate them into the streets so they could make them a target. Because your daddy ain't gonna never come down these trenches. Oh, okay. That's your thing. That's why when you go out, there's a little bit of tension when those two type of guys come in contact. Because even the guys who left the streets and became blue collar, they began to be like, man, if y'all don't get y'all that's from around me, man. Because now it's like, oh, I see, yeah, I was that dude. I don't even want to be that dude. But tell me what you see. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.